Welcome to video podcast number 27. Here's the deal, man. I think I already let you guys know. If I'm going to be giving you some really good knowledge, wisdom, insight, and advice, helpful advice, got to pay for it. Got to become a supporter of my Patreon page, which is below. My Patreon page below. Got that? The real juicy stuff, the real juicy helpful advice, you definitely got to become, a $5 or $10 subscriber. And when I start doing special events videos, you're going to have to pay $20 a month to get access to those. But at minimum, you got to pay $1 a month. But when I do videos that I consider to be more or less a rant, ramble, and or admonishment, that'll be free. That'll be totally free here on YouTube. So I think you know which category this video podcast is going to fall under. Now, as you know, I did a video podcast. I can't remember the number. Might have been video podcast number 21, 22, somewhere in there. But the title is called Stop Whining and Complaining. A lot of guys got bent out of shape over that. I say particularly African American men get bent out of shape. And even to a lesser extent, some non-black MGTOW types get bent out of shape. And as you know, there was another YouTube podcast host that we had what I would call a parting of ways. Some people would call it a falling out. I don't know if I would call it a true falling out. We just have philosophical differences on stuff. And I let this guy know that, he had proposed some potential business collaborations between us. And I let him know that wasn't going to happen. But anyway, interesting enough, since our parting of ways, he decided to do a live radio show on Blog Talk Radio about the issue of me telling men to stop whining and complaining. And he invited me to present my arguments. So I did. I called in the show. I expressed all my viewpoints and opinions. So here's how I'm going to start off this video podcast. I'm going to reiterate my stance in case it wasn't clear in video podcast number 20, 21, 22, whatever it was. Stop whining and complaining. I think that shit's weak. Look me in my eyes so you can see the conviction in my face when I say it. Weak. 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 And that ain't exclusively for African American men. If you're a Caucasian man and you spend over 50% of your time on the internet and on social media talking about all the flaws and weaknesses of female behavior, weak. 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 If you're an Asian man, Hispanic man, Middle Eastern man, whatever ethnicity you are, and you spend over 50% of your time on the internet and social media talking about what you don't like about women's behavior, weak, 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 weak. I didn't stutter. Did I just stutter? No, I don't think I stuttered. W-E-A-K. Weak. That's what I feel about it. And if that makes you feel some kind of way about me, unsubscribe to my channel. That's what I say. If you're a subscriber, unsubscribe to my channel. Go to somebody else's channel. If you're looking for the tutelage from a dating coach, go to another dating coach who's going to coddle you and enable you to have your wide assortment of pity parties. Because this dating coach, Alan Roger Currie, thinks that shit is weak. Weak. With bold and italicized letters. Weak. That's what I think it is. That's what I think it is. Here's the thing, I guess that kind of got under my skin. Is not just the fact that people had a negative reaction to my strong assertion that men shouldn't be whining and complaining about women's behavior, but the fact that some guys, I think these are fairly recent followers of mine, treated this like this was something new. Like I've read comments just over the last few days where guys make comments along the lines of, damn, I thought Alan Roger Currie was cool, man. I didn't know he was a guy who comes down hard on men for having criticisms against women. Okay, if you think this is new, go back and read the 1999 ebook version of Mo 1. I invite you to. Go back and read the 2006 paperback version of Mo 1. I invite you to. I guarantee you're going to find that this stance I have about whining and complaining is nothing new. This is not something that developed in the last few weeks or month or two. As far back as 1999, in my Mo 1 book, if you go to chapter 8, I specifically say in chapter 8, do not concern yourself with the various aspects of women's behavior that you do not like or that frustrate you or annoy you. I say do not concern yourself with that shit. Go and read the book if you don't believe me. Go and read either the 1999 ebook version or my 2006 paperback version, and you'll see that this is nothing new from me. I've always had this attitude. I said it in my chapter 8. I said, do not concern yourself with what you don't like about women. Don't concern yourself with women's behavior towards you. Only concern yourself with how you choose to behave towards women and how you choose to allow them to behave towards you. That's your only two concerns. That's your only two concerns. How you choose to behave towards them and how you choose to allow them to behave towards you. Anything that doesn't fall into them two categories shouldn't even be of your concern. All you crybabies out here having these pity parties. These women are ratchet. These women don't treat me right. These women are cheating on me. These women, they won't be monogamous. These women are having too many children out of wedlock. Oh, these women, they won't give me the attention I want. These women, they won't go out on a date with me. Now, to make you guys feel a little better, I'm going to tell you at least one incident where I was guilty of this, but it wasn't on a personal and social level. It was on a professional level. Because I will openly and publicly say, when it comes to the workplace, I'm a certified sexist and chauvinist. And women who know me in real life know that about me, so it ain't no surprise. I do not like having a female boss. Never, ever. That's why I love being self-employed. I'm in self-employed now for about 5+ years. And actually, my last 9-to-5 job I did have a male boss. But I've had, in my lifetime, I think I've had at least 3 or 4 jobs where I had a female supervisor, female boss. And I hated it. And that's probably the number one time when you want to call Alan Roger Currie doing his own brand of whining and complaining. You know who set me straight? My father. Because see, my father, man, I was raised by a strong father. My father was strong. He ran our household. My mother was probably more vocal than him, as women tend to be. But my brother and I knew who was the strong parent in our house. I mean, if our mother threatened to spank us, we would still, be mumbling under our breath. But if our father just gave us a look like he wanted to spank us, me and my brother would straighten up real quick. because we knew what was up. I was raised by a real man with backbone and strength. And you know what he told me? I was working for NBC Studios in Burbank, California. And I remember when I got hired for that job, I was on cloud nine. I looked at it as a dream job, as a entry level, because as most of you know, if you're familiar with my whole background, yeah, before I got into this whole dating coaching thing, I was pursuing a career in the entertainment industry. And I remember I started working for NBC Studios. And I ended up having like 2 or 3 female supervisors for different projects that I would do within the context of my job. And I didn't like the fact that they would talk to me in this condescending manner. And I will openly say to you guys, since I just got finished admonishing you guys for whining and complaining, I went into a mode where I was doing a lot of whining and complaining. And one day I was doing that with my father. I was whining and complaining. Hold on. I just burped. So that means time for my... You know, now, I've still been having problems finding my favorite flavor, strawberry lemonade. It's called Shine. They keep selling out. But this is my 3rd favorite flavor. It's called Go-Go Mixed Berry. Yeah. Love this stuff. Love this stuff. This is good. Good stuff. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm on the phone with my father. And like some of you guys do about women in your personal and social life, I was doing the same thing about the women in my professional life. I was whining and complaining, thinking that my father would give me empathy, thinking that he might co-sign with some of my criticisms and complaints. But you know how my father was? And my father, he was a very intelligent, articulate man. I like to think I'm intelligent and articulate, but my father's vocabulary was probably 10 times more extensive than mine. He could use polysyllabic language like anybody. Everybody who knew my father knew how sharp his intelligence was. So he wasn't one to use just, layman term language and street language. But I'm going to put what he said to me in street language. This is not what he said. He said it in a more intelligent, eloquent manner. But I'm going to bring it down to you what he essentially said to me in street language. He was basically like, son, quit bitching. Like a little bitch. Quit all this fucking bitching. You told me this was your dream job, and now you got the dream job, and all you doing is whining and bitching. Like a little bitch. Son, suck it up and man up. Either you get a new job, or until you do, you deal with your circumstances. But I don't want to hear you on the phone with me doing all this little bitching and whining and complaining. I don't want to hear this shit. Now again, those weren't his exact words. It was more eloquent than that. But essentially, that's what he said to me. And at the time it traveled into my ears, it was kind of hurtful. I got a little sensitive to it. But later on, when I thought about his admonishment, I respected it. Because that's what I was doing. I was bitching, man. I was whining and bitching about shit. Matter of fact, I'm going to include a link below. I want you all to watch it. It's a movie called Glengarry Glen Ross. Glengarry Glen Ross. There's this scene featuring the actor Alec Baldwin. Now, he's only in the movie for about 15, 20 minutes. Some people say in Hollywood that he should have been nominated for an Oscar just for this cameo scene he had. But to give you the setup, Glengarry Glen Ross deals with a bunch of men who work in real estate sales. And just about all the guys who work at this particular real estate company, all they do is come into work every day and whine and bitch about how fucked up their job is and how hard it is to sell clients on a house. That's all they do is just whine, like Jack Lemmon, Ed Harris, Adam Arkin, Kevin Spacey's in the movie, Al Pacino's in the movie. But yeah, all these dudes do is bitch. And essentially, you'll watch the clip again. I'm going to put the clip below. I don't want to tell you all the details with Alec Baldwin, but I'll give you the nutshell. Alec Baldwin comes in there and lays them out. I mean, just lays them the fuck out. Just in the same way my father laid me out in that phone conversation, Alec Baldwin lays these dudes out. He's basically like, man, what's with all this bitching? Little punks. He even used the F word. I ain't going to repeat the F word because it's politically incorrect in this day and age. You know, the F word meaning for most homosexual men. You know what I'm talking about. But that's what he calls them. And he has the same attitude I have towards a lot of you guys. That whining and bitching is weak. 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 Especially as it relates to your personal and social life. You got choices, man. All of you guys out here having these collective pity parties. Why are women so fat? Why are women so hard to get along with? Why? Hey, man. Here's $1. Here's $1. I'll give you $1, man. Go to your local dollar store and buy a clue. Go buy a clue. How many times I gotta tell you motherfuckers that who told you life was fair, man? That's what I want to know. That's the one thing I want somebody to answer me. Who told you life was fair? Just tell me. Write me. Write me at YouTube at mo1.net. YouTube at modeone.net, and tell me who told you, whether it's your mother, your father, your stepmother, stepfather, who told you life was fair? That's what I want to know. Who told you life was fair? Who told you that everybody in life was going to exhibit the behavior that you like? Whether it's members of your own gender or members of the opposite gender. Who told you that people were going to act the way you wanted them to act? Who told you that? That's what I want to know. Now, most of the women who follow me know about this page, but some of you guys may not know about this page. I'm going to include this link down below too. You know I have a secondary page. It's called mo1.net/training. mo1.net/training. That's my page where I deal with clients who are curious about the BDSM lifestyle and or the polyamory lifestyle. Do you know one of the things I do with clients who come to that page, who are referred to that page? Some of you already know, but I don't think all of you know. You know what I do? Do you know I actually train women? Didn't know that, did you? Female women, both single women and women who are married, engaged to be married, or in relationships, come to me for training. I'll take it a step further. This will blow your mind if you didn't know. I have husbands and boyfriends who refer their wives and girlfriends to me for training. I had a Skype session about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago with a husband and a wife, where I was training the wife to be more obedient and submissive to her husband, and I was lighting a fire under the husband's butt to demonstrate more backbone with his wife. Y'all didn't know that about me, did you? So if I'm a BDSM dom who gets paid to train women, Why would I ever whine and complain about women's behavior? Why? That would go against what I do business-wise. Why would I ever do that? When women pay me money to train them. And I had two sisters who interviewed me last fall make this generalization, and I'm about to touch on generalizations in a couple minutes. But they said, Alan, I almost bet money that 90% of your female clients are Caucasian. As if white women are the only women who need training. Please. No less than 40% of my female clients are African American. No less than 40% of them are African American. I got Hispanic female clients. I got Asian female clients. I got some international female clients. I train women, dude. Only a man with backbone can get paid to do that job. Look into my eyes while I say that again. Only a man with backbone can get paid to do that job. You think some woman would pay some weak motherfucker to train her? Some motherfucker who she know she can run circles around? You know, I remember when I was young, there was this ad for weightlifting products. And it showed this big muscular guy kicking sand in the face of this, skinny, scrawny guy. And the skinny guy was like, hey, you can't kick sand in my face. The big muscular guy was like, yeah, I did. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Now, of course, in the ad, it shows the skinny guy buys these weightlifting products and he builds his own body up, and then he comes back and, challenges that big muscular bully who kicks sand in his face. And you could say that sends out a good message. Because did the skinny, scrawny guy just sit on the beach, whining and complaining about the bully punking him? Why bully punk me? Why you keep sand in my face? Why? No, he went out and did something about it. So I'm saying to you motherfuckers, you say women are ratchet. I'm saying these women are looking back at you and looking you directly in your eyes and saying, what you gonna do about it? You saying these women got too many kids out of wedlock. I'm saying those women are looking you back in your eyes and saying, what you gonna do about it? You saying women too promiscuous and cheat on their boyfriends and husbands too much. I'm saying women looking you back in your eyes and say, what you gonna do about it? You saying women reject me too much. I'm saying those women looking you in your eyes saying, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Let's go with the argument that no less than 50% of the women walking planet Earth are fucked up in terms of their character and their integrity and their personality traits. Let's go with that argument. What you gonna do about it? Other than bitch about it. What you gonna do about it? You gonna go out like George Soldini and Elliot Rodger? They got so frustrated with their lack of romantic and sexual attention from women that they went out and killed people. Y'all gonna go that route? Huh? Is that what some of y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna go that route? Let your pity parties and frustrations get the best of you? Did you say, hey, I'm not gonna take this anymore, so I'm gonna get a knife or a machine gun or some gas bombs, and I'm just gonna kill all the women who rejected me, and I'm gonna kill all the women who ignored me, and I'm gonna kill all the womanizing men that they gave attention to. Is that what you're gonna do? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna go the Ted Bundy route? Is that what you're gonna do? You think that's going to make you look like more of a man and shit? If you go out and kill some people, kill some women because of your frustrations? Huh? They're going to make you feel like, huh? They're going to make you feel courageous and shit like you did some shit? You think because you raise your voice on on your radio show, your podcast show, your YouTube show, you raise your voice to the highest volume. You think that's going to make women say, oh shit, I need to change my behavior right now because he raised his voice at me and now I'm going to make a change and improvement in my behavior because those men are mad at me and they don't like the way I behave, and so I'm going to improve myself because they're raising and yelling at me. You think that's what's going to happen? You think that's what... Here's this dollar. Go to your local dollar store and buy a clue. Tell them that dating coach Alan Roger Currie sent you. Buy a clue. Wake the fuck up, man. Come on, man. Wake the fuck up. And for my really good listeners, viewers, followers who I've never ever gotten any emails from them or comments in my YouTube comment section below, for all you guys who've never complained about anything about women, I apologize to you that you gotta listen through this rant and ramble. I really do. I apologize to you because this is not for you, and I think you know that. You know this is not for you. A lot of my clients are great clients. A lot of my followers are great followers of all races. Black men, white men, Asian men, Hispanic men, Middle Eastern men. A lot of you guys, all you're looking to do is improve yourself. Engage in as much self-improvement activities and personal development activities as possible so that you will make yourself more appealing to women, so that you will be chosen. And those clients and followers and listeners and viewers, I respect you to the highest degree. And those are the guys that give me the passion to do what I do. You are the guys who I want to help the most. Guys who are genuinely looking to make changes and improvements in your own behavior instead of worrying about what changes and improvements women need to make in their behavior. So you guys, you got nothing but love and respect from me. And I mean that. I love all you guys, man. All you guys who never ever complain about women, you know, and you got your share of challenges and obstacles. You know, you might have been through some shit in your life. You know, you might have got fed a lot of wrong beliefs and attitudes and improper and invalid social programming by your mother, father, or whoever else was influential in your life. Man, I feel for you, man. I really do. And I genuinely seek to help you guys, man. So, man, this video podcast is not for you guys, man. The guys with the, you know, who looking to learn from me. Looking to absorb as much knowledge, wisdom, insight, and advice from me as possible. I ain't got no beef with you guys, man. Talking to you other motherfuckers, man. Now, some of you all, I ain't gonna call y'all by your YouTube usernames, but you know who you are. There's some of you all who will come over to my YouTube page and say, yeah, Alan, man, you know, you my dog, man. I love you to death, man. I love everything you say. But then I see you on somebody else's YouTube comment section doing what I'm criticizing. Y'all be whining and complaining about women. Weak. 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 W-E-A-K. Weak. I said in a previous video podcast, man, dude, when it comes to guys I've hung around with in real life, I've never hung around guys like that. And as soon as they would reveal that they had that characteristic, I would immediately end my friendship with them. And that goes back probably as far back as I want to say high school, at least college. Dude, I never hung around guys in real life, man, that did a lot of whining and complaining. Now, here's the whining and complaining that I've tolerated from guys, and I probably even indulged in this myself. Let's say a guy, when he first hooked up with his girlfriend, everything was going great. And then weeks into the relationship or months into the relationship, his girlfriend started tripping a little bit, acting a little funny. And he, you know, one of my buddies came to me like, man, Al, man, my girlfriend is tripping. I didn't get on this case about that. You know, like I've had some women who I've probably done my share of private, keyword private, like at my crib or somebody else's crib, where like I had, I don't know, an ex-girlfriend who started off being really obedient and submissive. Then she started calling herself trying to be a little defiant with me. I might have bitched about that for an hour or two. Or a woman who I was having casual sex with who initially agreed to just have casual sex with me, and then later on she started pressuring me to upgrade the relationship to a more of a serious boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Yeah, I might have allowed that to annoy me to the point where I said a few choice criticisms about her to one of my close male friends. So if you guys are in that category, I ain't tripping on you on that, man. I ain't tripping on you on that. Matter of fact, I wrote on somebody's, I think it was a guy named BGS Ibmore, Black Gnostic Speaks. I wrote on his comment section. I said, if your criticism about women you've actually dealt with in life, like ex-wife, current wife / ex-wife, current girlfriend / ex-girlfriend, current fiance / ex-fiance, current casual sex partner / ex-recent casual sex partner, dude, I give y'all a pass if y'all want to do a little bit of whining on that, man. I give y'all a pass on that, dude. You know, I ain't gonna come down hard on you on those type of little minor whining and complaining. I understand where that comes from. But I'm talking about you guys, man, who are predominantly whining about women you've never even interacted with in your life personally. You've never had a one-on-one conversation with these women. You've never gone out on a date with these women. You've never shared a bed with these women. But yet, you talking shit about these women. And some guy said, I pick on black men. Yeah, I do to a certain degree. You know why? Because some of you black men, I don't like these generalizations, man. See, this is what feeds into racism and racial prejudice. If 5 brothers rob a bank, then Caucasian people should just target those 5 black men who robbed that bank. They should just criticize them. But if some Caucasian people tend to go ahead and say, well, all black men are bank robber types, that's a broad generalization. And that shit's racist. That's how I feel about you black men who, because you dealt with 5 black women who wasn't about shit, all of a sudden all black women ain't shit. Because you had 3 black women that cheated on you, all of a sudden all black women cheat on men. Because you ran across a few black women who were super duper promiscuous, all of a sudden all black women are promiscuous. Man, shut the fuck up. It's your dangerous ass broad generalizations. One thing I try to do, man, when I criticize women, I try, and I might fail every now and then, but I try to criticize women by their specific personality trait, by their specific behavior trait, by their specific character trait. So in other words, if my criticism of women is how manipulative they are, I'm not going to say all white women are manipulative or all black women are manipulative. I'm going to say all manipulative women are manipulative. Period. If my criticism of women is that they're materialistic, I'm not going to say all black women are materialistic or all white women or all Asian women are materialistic. I'm going to say, you know what? You need to be on the lookout for women who are materialistic. You need to be on the lookout for women who have an adulterous nature about themselves. You need to be on the lookout for women who have a very defiant, disagreeable nature. Now, the one generalization I will say I'm guilty of sometimes, and I probably was guilty of this in my very last video podcast. I tend to sometimes criticize women by age. In the same way some men criticize women, generalize women by race and ethnicity, I've oftentimes been guilty of generalizing a lot of women by age. I'll raise my hand of guilt to that. Sometimes I will lump all women in their 40s and 50s in the same category. And I'm probably, all things considered, I'm probably wrong to do that. You gotta watch it with these generalizations, man. If Denise Jones is the woman you got problems with, talk about Denise Jones. If Laura Williams is the one you got problems with, talk about Laura Williams. But if Laura Williams happens to be white, don't say all women have XYZ characteristics when you're really talking about Laura Williams. If Denise Jones got a certain characteristic that bothers the shit out of you, talk about her. Don't say all black women got this characteristic when you're really talking about Denise Jones. Dude on this radio show I called in on Sunday, he literally said 90% of black women are trash. That was his exact words. He said 90% of black women are trash. Like this motherfucker's a beacon of society. Oh, hey, check this out. Check this out. Here's the new thing. This is the killer. Here's the killer right here. Oh, man. I had a couple of my boys cracking up on this one. Here's the new thing. Guess what, fellas, that some of my haters and critics criticize me for now? Guess what they criticize me? I mean, of course, haters are always going to hate on you for something. And they're always going to criticize you for something. Otherwise, it wouldn't be haters or critics. Some guys said, yeah, man, Alan ain't no real man because a real man doesn't make pussy his priority, man. Any man who makes a pussy his priority ain't really no real man. You know, that dude ain't no real man. That's a simp if pussy is your number one priority. Bless these guys' hearts. Look at me. Look at me. It's a couple of my male followers asked me, they said, Alan, why do you, when you do your video podcast, why do you say, look at me? I would think that would be something you only say to women. No, because you notice I do my video podcast, I show my face, man. You notice that? You notice I show my face? You notice I show my eyes? Because that's how I evaluate motherfuckers, man. If I ain't talking to you in person, if I'm unable to talk to you in person and look you in your eyes, then at minimum, I want to see you on video or Skype or something. I want to look you in your eyes, man. That's how I deal with people, male and female, man. That's what I want to see what you're about, man. Because you can write all the shit you want to write, man, on a piece of paper, on Facebook or Twitter. But I want to look you in your eyes, man. Again, preferably in person. And if not in person, at minimum, I want you to show me a video of your eyes, man. I want to see you like when I do my Skype consultations. I look dudes directly in the eyes through my Skype webcam. Like I'm looking at you right now through my webcam. I want to see what you about, man. I evaluate a lot about men by their eyes and their voice. Eyes and their voice. I can tell a lot. I would say that applies to both genders. If you read my books, I talk about that as it relates to women, man. That's the number one way I size women up, is by how they use their eyes and how they use their voice. And same thing with men. I evaluate you by your eyes and your voice. Like me and fellow dating coach T.D. D. Williams, we joke about that because I'm going to tell you guys, and some of you guys might think this is an unfair assessment, but I can tell if a motherfucker getting some pussy, man, when I listen to his voice. Even if I don't know nothing about that dude, I ain't never hung around him in real life, I can tell by the way he talk if he's had a lot of pussy in his life. You can't fool me, man, with your voice. You might be able to fool me on Facebook with what you write, something you might write, you know, or whatever. But dude, as soon as I hear your voice, man, I know if you're a motherfucker that's been a ladies' man or womanizer, man. I know if you have. I know if you bullshit me. And speaking of that, what I just talked about, some guys tried to say, now I guess the thing is, if a guy wants some pussy from a woman, he ain't a real man. I guess now if you voluntarily celibate or voluntarily asexual, that means you a man now. Shit. If that's the definition of manhood, you can take that shit. Good luck. If that's your brand of manhood, hey, I ain't gonna stop you. Be my guest. Go ahead. If loving pussy makes me a simp, then goddamn it, I'm gonna write The Simp's Guide to Dating by Alan Roger Currie. You better believe it. I'm gonna write The Simp's Guide to Alan Roger Currie if your definition of a simp is a motherfucker who loves pussy. Because I'm straight up heterosexual. Hey, you know I love the movie Talk Dirty to Me and Talk Dirty to Me Part 2. What does John Leslie's character say in Talk Dirty to Me Part 2, if you've seen that movie, which is one of my favorite movies. Not only one of my favorite porno movies of all time, that's one of my favorite movies, period. When he visits this woman's TV talk show. Because, see, usually I get this argument from women. Now, guys are starting to become like women. Duh. No surprise there. Usually women are the ones who try to argue with me and say, Alan, there's more important things in life than just sex. Sex is not everything. Shit. 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 You might convince some other aspiring monk to believe that and co-sign with that. You ain't gonna ever get Alan Roger Currie to co-sign with that. Shoot, the day my dick stops working is the day I tell God, take me home. Take me home. I'm ready to go. My job on earth has been completed. I'm ready to go. That's right, God, I'm ready to go. Shoot, man. Shoot, shit. What? John Leslie in Talk Dirty to Me Part 2, his most classic, simple line in there, he said, he asked a female TV talk show, he said, what is more important than fucking? What is more important than fucking? What is the point of having a big, lovely house on Malibu Beach and having a convertible Bentley and a Porsche and a Jaguar in your garage if you ain't fucking? What's the point of owning your own company and your own private jet if you ain't fucking? What's the point of having 10 degrees behind your name and you ain't fucking? What's the point of having a great physique and you ain't fucking? What's the point of being on earth if you ain't fucking? And I ain't trying to be funny. I'm dead serious. How did you get here? How did you get here? How were you conceived? Were you conceived in a test tube? Are you a test tube baby? I would say 99.9% chance you wasn't. You got here. The reason you exist on this earth is because your biological mother and your biological father was fucking, either within the context of a loving relationship or casual sex lust. That's why you're here, is because of fucking. And you telling me fucking ain't important. Ain't shit more important than fucking. Believe that. From Alan Roger Currie's perspective anyway. Believe that. You can argue with me on that all day, all night till you turn blue in the face. In my world, ain't nothing other than breathing oxygen. Ain't nothing more important than fucking. Exchanging orgasms. Shit. Nothing. Nothing. Maybe possibly next to breathing oxygen, putting food and water in your system so you got the energy to fuck. And earning a living so you at least can have a roof over your head to fuck in. But beyond those notable exceptions, ain't shit more important than fucking. So again, for my haters and critics, if you think my love for orgasmic pleasure makes me less of a man or a simp, then color me guilty all motherfucking day. Shit. I don't want nothing to do with your ilk. I don't want no association with you guys. Anybody who would even say such a thing. Shoot, I've never hung around a guy in my life who didn't love pussy. Ever. Shit, almost all my closest male friends in my life were guys who were ladies' men, womanizers, and guys who were enthusiastic about sex with women and exchanging orgasms with women. Whether it was in promiscuous sex or even some friends I had who were more into the long-term relationships. They love having sex with their wives, fiancés, and girlfriends. But y'all motherfuckers who on this asexual kick, Like some of y'all MGTOW guys, some of y'all other type non-MGTOW guys, man, y'all stay on your side of the room or whatever you want to say. Have chatter among yourselves. Don't try to come in my world with that shit. I don't want nothing to do with you motherfuckers. I don't trust any motherfucker who don't love pussy. I don't want a motherfucker within 10 feet of me who don't love pussy. Shit, get your ass away from me like you got the plague. I don't want nothing to do with you. Nothing. If you ain't trying to exchange orgasms with a woman, I don't want you as a client. I don't want you as a listener. I don't want you as a viewer, a follower, nothing. I don't want nothing to do with you. Nothing. I don't want you as a business collaborator, nothing. Trust me when I say that, man. I am not fucking with you saying that. I am dead serious, dude. Shit. Y'all better listen to Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, I mentioned this before, I think in a previous podcast. Dave Chappelle talked about this in his own comedic way. He basically was like, everything a man does related to self-improvement is motivated in part by his desire to get some pussy. Napoleon Hill talks about that in his self-improvement book, Think and Grow Rich. He says that. He says just about everything a heterosexual man does in his life related to self-improvement and personal development is at least partially motivated by his desire to either improve the quality of women he wants to have sex with and or the quantity of women he wants to have sex with. Shoot, you take away my desire for sex, dude, I'm done on planet Earth. I'm done. I'm ready to go. I let God know with the bat signal. Take me anytime. Shoot, man, please. The hell y'all talking about? And what's wrong with some of y'all, man? Seriously though, dude. What's wrong with some of y'all, man? What kind of childhood did y'all have? That y'all all fucked up in the head like this? Y'all would rather watch porn than fuck. What's that about? Y'all would rather play Madden NFL on PlayStation or Xbox than fuck. What's that about? Is this the new breed of young dudes now, man? Is that's where we are, huh? That's where we've gotten to. The dudes don't even want to fuck no more because they so bitter and resentful towards women. Y'all like, I don't even want to fuck y'all no more. I don't even want to fuck women no more because they piss me off. Because they're such just ratchet creatures. I don't even want anything to do with women. I don't even put my dick in their pussy because I hate them so much. And I ain't going to even give them the opportunity. Man, that's sad. That's just sad. That is sad. God bless you, man. If that's your chosen path, God bless you. I ain't going to stop you. But I say this, to borrow a line, me being the movie buff I am. Remember Al Pacino in my favorite movie, Heat, when he was talking to Robert De Niro in the infamous diner scene? And Al Pacino was letting Robert De Niro know that he respects him as a criminal. He likes some of his methods. But he says, hey, if it's between letting you live or letting you kill some dude that's going to cause his wife to now be a single mother, he said, brother, you are going down. He looks him dead in his eyes. He says, brother, you are going down. So I say this, if you guys want to go your own way, go your own way. I ain't going to try to stop you. But as I referenced before, if some of y'all get into that, what I call that, cold red zone, that danger zone, where you're trying to go the Elliot Rodger route or the George Sodini route, and it's in my presence, and I see you threatening a woman, or because you angry at her, or threatening another guy because you angry because he's the womanizer, ladies man, that woman you don't like is giving attention to. If it's within my means to stop you, brother, you are going down. You looking in my eyes and understanding that? You can criticize women all they want to. All you want to. You can bitch about them all you want to. You got that right. You got a right. Do that. On your audio podcast, video podcast, you got a right to. But I'm telling you right now, if it's a woman I know and I see you about to put hands on her, brother, you are going down. So I hope we understand each other on that. Here's my final note before I wrap up. What am I at? I'm at 52, 53 minutes. Yeah, I'll stay under the hour. That's good. Some of y'all need to understand the difference between subjective criticisms and objective criticisms, and similarly, constructive criticisms and destructive criticisms. There's nothing wrong with objective criticisms. And similarly, there's nothing wrong with constructive criticisms. But there's everything wrong with subjective criticism / destructive criticisms. What's the difference? An objective criticism is when you criticize someone. Burp number 2. Excuse me. An objective criticism is when you criticize someone for exhibiting behavior that they themselves agreed not to exhibit, or they themselves had previously expressed that they frowned upon. So, for example, if I'm your employer and you sign an agreement saying you're going to show up to work on time every day, but I've documented that you've been 5 to 10 minutes late 3 times in the last 2 weeks, and I criticize you for it, that's an objective criticism. Because I'm criticizing you for exhibiting behavior that you agreed not to exhibit. If I criticize you on behavior just based on the fact that I don't like your behavior, but you never said you weren't going to exhibit that behavior, then that's a subjective criticism. So, as it relates to women, if you're criticizing women about behavior that they never looked you in your eyes and told you that they weren't going to exhibit, what the fuck are you criticizing them for? For example, if you criticize women for having babies out of wedlock, but those women never told you that they weren't going to have babies out of wedlock, what you criticizing them for? If you criticize women for being overweight, but they never told you that they was going to put a lot of emphasis on keeping their body slim, what you criticizing them for? If you criticizing women for being promiscuous, but they never told you that they was going to commit themselves to a life of monogamy, what you criticizing them for? Now, have I been guilty of that sometimes? Yes, I've been guilty of my share of subjective criticism, both towards men and women at times. But when I'm consciously aware of it, I always try to avoid it. You should never, as much as possible, and it's hard sometimes not to. I grant you that. It's hard sometimes. But as much as possible, you should never criticize people for exhibiting behavior that they have never publicly said that they were not going to exhibit. Now, if somebody has come out publicly and said, I'm not going to smoke cigarettes, and then all of a sudden you see them smoking cigarettes, and damn, my mobile phone is going off. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I got to wait till it plays out. Okay. So if somebody comes out and says, hey, I hate people who smoke cigarettes, and then a few weeks later you catch them smoking cigarettes, yeah, that's who you should let that person have it. Because they being hypocritical. They going against their own behavior that they said they frown on. You know? And that's usually when I criticize women. Again, I have my moments when I engage in subjective criticisms with women, but generally the predominant time I criticize women on various aspects of their behavior is when I've heard them criticize other people for exhibiting the same behavior that they're now exhibiting. For example, if I know that a woman has previously criticized other women for being ultra promiscuous, but now I see her being ultra promiscuous, then I'll criticize her for being promiscuous because she's going against her own criticisms. That's hypocritical behavior. That's when an objective criticism is warranted. And as far as constructive versus destructive, if you're criticizing people with the ultimate objective of motivating them to do better and to improve themselves, then that's a constructive criticism. If you genuinely want to see that person improve themselves, you know, that's a constructive criticism. But if you criticizing women just to leave them, as a lot of men call it, butthurt, and you're just trying to attack their ego, like the guy on the radio show again that I was part of on Sunday, when he said 90% of black women are trash. That wasn't no constructive criticism. That was a destructive criticism. Number one, it was invalid. Number two, that motherfucker ain't ever interacted with 90% of the black women on earth. I doubt if he's interacted with 0.5% of the black women on earth. He actually said he's basing a lot of his criticisms on the behavior he sees from black women on television. He actually said that on television. He evaluating black women's behavior by what he sees on television. I need that dude's address so I can send him this $1 so he could go buy a clue. Some of you guys, and not just black men, a lot of you guys who criticize women, how many women have you approached in the last 6 months? Huh? How many women have you actually initiated a conversation with? How many women have you tried to get with romantically and sexually and told them that in a confident, straightforward manner? Huh? How many of you guys have done that? Or do you spend your whole day just on the internet bitching? Like I said on that radio show on Sunday, a lot of you guys sit on the internet every day criticizing fat women and you fat yourself. Man, shut the fuck up, man. You know, one thing my mother taught me, because my mother, man, and this is a biased opinion, but my mother in her heyday, my mother was drop dead gorgeous. She was like Halle Berry in her prime gorgeous. My mother was, I'll show you pictures of my mother. Shoot, my mother, again, I'm biased because I'm a son. My mother was fine than a motherfucker. All of her friends told her she could have been somebody's model or actress. My mother was fine as fuck. So I give kudos to my father for selecting my mother. My mother was she was bad as hell in her day. But one thing my mother taught me on the subject of looks, she told me and my brother to never disparage other people's looks. She even said, even if they take a jab at your looks first, you should avoid talking about other people's looks. She didn't believe in that stuff. But I'm hearing a lot of guys, man, hey man, you know, I just said this, but I'm probably going to contradict it. I don't like to talk about people's looks, man, but hey man, some of you dudes, man, y'all better get a wake-up clue, man. Some of y'all motherfuckers ain't no male fitness models, man. Y'all got your nerve calling women fat or unattractive. Y'all better look in the mirror. Shit. Y'all ain't no Boris Kojo, Brad Pitt looking motherfuckers. Y'all better wake the fuck up dogging out women on their looks. Shit. Y'all better get real on some shit. Shit, now again, I try my best not to talk about people's looks, male or female. But if you want me to go there, a brother will go there with you. I will go there with you. If you challenge me on it, I will go there with you. I will shred you to pieces. I will lay you out if you want me to go there with you. Some of you brothers taking all these jabs at women. Boy, y'all better get a good fucking mirror. Shit. Some of y'all are 2.5 on a scale from 1 to 10, and y'all criticizing a woman for being a 3 or 4. Man, y'all better wake the fuck up. Shit. Only a 6-figure, 7-figure salary will ever allow you to share the bed of an 8, 9, or 10, because it definitely ain't gonna be because of your motherfucking looks. Shit. Shit. Motherfuckers who are 4 or 5 got the nerve to say I ain't gonna never date or have sex with a woman who are 4 or 5. Okay, what, you plan on winning the lottery? Cause hey man, let me keep it real. Y'all always want me to keep shit real. Let me keep shit extra real. The only way a woman who's an 8, 9, or 10 is gonna fuck a motherfucker who she ain't physically attracted to is if that motherfucker got that cheese, so she can use you for your money. She'll let you pay for the pussy. So if you want to be a trick, be a trick. Don't confuse being a ladies' man or a womanizer with being a sugar daddy or a trick. I wrote an article on the Negro Manosphere about that. I'll include that in the comments section below. Don't get those two twisted. There's a big difference between being a sugar daddy and a trick, and being a true ladies' man and a womanizer. So y'all dudes, man, I ain't just talking about brothers either. Black men, I'm talking about you white dudes, you Asian dudes, you Hispanic dudes, who ain't nobody's looker, who ain't nobody's male model. Y'all better chill out on the way y'all dog out women's looks, and y'all ain't nobody's looker. So on that note, I'm going to close this out. The hashtag no crybabies. Hashtag no crybabies. No crybabies. CRYBABIES. No crybabies. You notice my tagline? What's my tagline been for years? Mo 1. Go out and make some shit happen. That's my tagline. Mo 1. Go out. It ain't never been Mo 1. Go on the internet and do some whining and bitching. They ain't never been my tagline. Mo 1. Let the women know all your criticisms and complaints. That ain't never been my tagline. Mine is Mo 1. Go out and make some shit happen. I'm all about men who are interested in self-improvement and personal development. Self-improvement and personal development. That's what I'm about. All you guys who think that an emphasis on orgasmic pleasure is unmanly, good luck. Go your own way. Best of luck to you. I'm out. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Yes, sir.
Who's the king?
Alan, you're the king.
Say it again.
Alan, you're the king. You're dominating me.
Say it again.
Alan, you're dominating me right now. Mode 1.
Mode 1.
Daddy, can I go, please? You're the king.
Say it again.
Oh, you're the fucking king. Yes. Yes. Yes.
You're the king, Alan.
AKA the king of verbal seduction. You know, it's the tone of your voice, how seductive your intonations are, the vibrations that you could just reach out over the phone lines and stroke a woman's breast just by the sound of your voice, how you could make her pussy so wet just by the sound of your voice. That's actually very hot.
So you said my show was what?
I said your show is powerful.
Oh, say it again.
Your show is powerful.
I bet the king would fuck me really good.
Oh, yeah. Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie.
Oh, yeah. Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie. The king.
The king.
The king.